Hey everybody, Lucas here, and I'm going to go through how to set up a Canvas homepage in this video. So sit back, get your Canvas up and ready to roll, and we'll show you exactly what to do. All right, here we go. We had a good crowd at our live workshop, but I understand that a lot of folks are busy. They've got other things they have to go to or work with, and so just wanted to put together this video to go back through the ideas and the concepts and the how-tos of the things that we covered in today's workshop. Make sure that you can go back and watch that at your own pace, at your own time, pausing, practicing, and repeating as necessary. So let's go ahead and get started. First off, in case you don't know me, my name is Lucas Gillespie. I'm the Director of Digital Learning and Media for Surrey County Schools, and we're going to jump right ahead here. So your homepage, what is your homepage in Canvas? What's the point of a homepage? A homepage is the first thing that your students will see when they log into your Canvas course. So it's going to be whatever you have set to be there right in front of them. And you have several options inside of Canvas of how you can set that up. Your different options are you can set the course activity stream up to be what people see when they first log in. So that's more of a sort of a Google Classroom style, or at least at one time that's how Google Classroom operated, where everything that's going on in the course kind of streams up the page, so to speak. Then you can set a page, an individual page, as the front page of the course or the home page of the course. That's really what we're going to be focusing on in this class, and that's what most folks do. You also have the opportunity to set up the modules view as the front page, or as what people see when they log in. So they'll see module 1, module 2, and all the content that's in it. You also have the opportunity to set the assignments list as the front page, so students would see the upcoming assignments right there on the front page. And then you can also set up the course syllabus as the front page for the course. So all of those are options, but we're going to focus primarily on setting up an individual page and how to set that up, put the graphics in, and link those to make your course really look nice and make it look as a reflection of yourself and the content that you're covering. So a lot of folks ask me, well, how do I get started? I've set up this sandbox or this empty course, and it's a little overwhelming because I have this sort of blank canvas, so to speak, pardon the pun, right there, and I don't know how to get started. What am I going to do to get started? Well, my number one suggestion is to download a course template. Course templates are going to be there to help you figure out how to organize your course, give you some suggestions on how to do that. We have several course templates available in the comments from the district level, and I'm going to show you how to find those and download them. They are suggestions. Okay, they're set up in different ways depending on which one you download, and everything can be edited to customize to meet your needs and your students' needs. So let me show you how to do that. The first thing you're going to do is, when you're inside of Canvas, is you are going to go in and just look to see some of the things that are out there. My recommendation would be that you set up a course sandbox, an empty shell, whatever. Start a new course, and then head over to the Commons and start looking around a little bit to see what's there. Once you find a template that you like, you're going to click import and download, and then there's a menu that's going to pop up that shows all of your courses. And you're going to check the box of the course that you want that content, that template to go into. Let's walk through that together. So here I am inside a brand new course that I just created. I created from my dashboard, start a new course. I called this one demo course because we're going to do a demonstration of how to do this. Keep in mind, as teachers, you can create any number of courses. So you have a limitless storage for courses. So it is perfectly fine to create several sandbox courses, empty courses to play around with. And then when you get tired of them, you can always go into the settings of that course and delete it if you want to get rid of it later. I recommend test driving any template that I download or any content that I download from the Commons just to make sure that it's what I want before I actually use it with students. So set up an empty class, import that content, kind of take a look around, make sure it's what you want, and then you can use it with your students. So here I am, I'm in my blank course. Okay, so I want to import a template from the Commons to get started with. So over here on the right, I'm going to click this option that says import from Commons. I'm going to click that, and it's going to take me out to the Commons. Now, as I mentioned in the workshop, the Commons is this big rabbit hole that you can go down, and you can spend a lot of time exploring content inside the Commons. There's so much there. Okay, here I am inside the Commons. I will let you know that any content that we share district wide and we want to make available and really keep it at the top of the list, we can flag that stuff as featured and it'll show up at the top. Now, Canvas and that community can also flag content as featured and it will show up, but ours will always be at the top. So these 4 templates that we've put together to help our teachers get started are there for you. And there's some different ones. I'll just tell you what we have. The 3-5 template, this first one that you see here, is designed for elementary teachers, 3-5. Now, any of these templates can be used at any level. Is sometimes you just may want to go and change the graphics around. So if I were using this template, I like this template, but I'm a high school physics teacher, I'm probably going to change out those cutesy little cartoon kids. Maybe not. Maybe that's what I want to use with my students. It's up to you. But this template is designed to be used with a days of the week format. So the modules are set up with a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday setup. If that's how you operate in your class, then you might want to take a look at that template. The pre-K template is similar to that, so different graphics there, but very similar format. This primary Canvas course template is also set up on a days of the week. Has a little bit different theme, but again, uses that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday format. If you're teaching older students, you may choose to use this 5Es template, this last one that you see here. The explore, enrich, etc., those kinds of things. That's how the modules are set up in this template. Again, everything can be customized, so don't be overwhelmed by how it's set up. Sometimes these are good just to get you started. So let's talk about how then to import this into my course. So I'm going to choose this 5Es template here, this bluish green one. I'm going to click that link and I can look at some preview here to see kind of how this is set up. And then when I decide this is what I want to use, I'm just going to click import and download. Now, from the right side, you'll see this little card slide out and it says, hey, where do you want to put this content? So you just need to choose the course that you're going to put this content into. So right here, I'm going to click demo course. And then I'm going to scroll down and click import into course. You may not have as many classes as I have. I've got lots of stuff out there where I've been playing around. Okay, and I'm going to get this message here that says you've successfully started the import. Might take a little bit for that to happen, so just wait a couple minutes, and then we're going to check back in our dashboard to see if that content has come in. But the templates are a really good way to get started. Sometimes, again, that blank canvas can be overwhelming. So let's head back over to our dashboard and to our demo course and see if it's ready yet. Looks like it is because the course card is already showing up. This is the course card, this little image that shows up here. So let's click in there and see. Yeah, my content is here. Nothing particularly fancy. Nice welcome banner there. Some basic images down here. That I can link out to different parts of the site. So this is one way to get a pre-made homepage into your course. So with this part of the video, I'm going to pause. I suggest you pause and just try that out if you haven't done it already. Go into your dashboard, create a new course, call it demo course, sandbox, whatever it is you want to call it. Again, there's no limit to the number of these that you can create. And import content from the Commons. And we'll take a moment to do that, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit about how to find content in the Commons to pull into your course, specifically templates for this lesson. Okay, so you're ready to make this homepage your own. Let's talk about how to customize that homepage to make it something that is reflective of your personality, but also the content and the courses that you're teaching. So let's talk about how and why we do that. A couple things that I suggest that people keep in mind when they're customizing their Canvas homepages. One, think about what your students are going to click the most, or where do they need to go in your course the most. And you're going to want to create shortcuts to that. Now, they can get to things, the modules and the pages and the assignments very easily from the navigation that's built in. But if you want to make a quick, easy, visible shortcut right there on your homepage, you can certainly do that. Think about this, especially for those of you teaching little students, our littles in K through 5, especially those that are just kind of getting new to the mouse and keyboard thing. You might want to make those very visible, visual, easy to see. All right. And we'll talk about image sizes and things like that in a moment. So here you can see I've got a sample picture of or screenshot of a sample template, and it's got links to ELA, math, science, social studies. Pretty big, visible pictures that the teacher could refer to, things that our students could see and click on pretty easily. But again, all this is customizable, and then these links as well: schedule, news, help, and a section for parents as well. So think about what images you want, how you want to put those together, what images you'd like to use, and how you want to share those out with your students. So how we'll put those in. So that's a little bit about what we're going to talk about next. Now, here's where we're going to switch gears a little bit. We're going to talk about another tool, and this is going to get a little confusing, so hang on. But we're going to talk about Canvas, which is where we're building our courses. Then we're also going to talk about the tool called Canva, which is a fantastic tool that educators can use the pro version for free, and you can create images, buttons, banners, all kinds of great stuff for your courses. Now, that premium version that's free for educators, there's a link right here on this slide. You just want to go to canva.com/education. And when you go there, you want to sign up for the educator account for free and make sure that you use your district email account. That's what they're going to be looking for. I did this the other day, and within 10 minutes, I think they had my account verified and I had pro access to it, which means that you get access to all the clip art, all the images, everything. It's great. Definitely recommend that. So if you have not been to Canva before and you've not set up that pro account, now's a good time to do that. Just go to canva.com/education and get that free account. Now, once you're inside of Canva, you're going to see the option to create a design. So that's how we're going to start. We're going to log into Canva. You're going to create a design. Set your image dimensions, so your width and your height of the image that you want to create. You're going to design it, download it, and then we're going to put it into Canvas. Those are the steps. So I'm going to walk you through that live right now in Canvas. So let's say I want to create a custom banner to go at the top of my page. Let's say, for example, let me close that for just a second. So here I am in Canva, right? And let's say, for example, I'm going to do this for, I don't know, let's do it for a history class. I just came up with that, so I hope this works. So I'm going to create a banner that's going to go at the top of my page for my history class. I'm going to come over here and click Create a Design. Now they have tons of pre-made templates and such for you to use here. So if you have a YouTube channel and you want the art at the top of your YouTube channel, if you want to do an Instagram post, or you're creating a logo or a Facebook post, Twitter, whatever, they already have them made to the perfect size for those different platforms, and you can go in and customize. We're actually just going to do a custom dimension here. So I'm going to click Custom Dimensions. My recommendation for banners, anything that's going to be at the top of the screen, the maximum width I would recommend is around 1,000 pixels or 1,000 wide. Wouldn't recommend going much beyond that because of the size of the screens that our students are going to be looking at it on. So remember, we have students that are looking at our courses from everything from widescreen monitors and televisions down to handheld smartphones. So that's something to keep in mind. So 1,000 wide, 200 tall is a really good dimension. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to click that, and it's going to start my design. Now, as you notice, it's blank, it's white, and we've got some pre-made templates here. You could certainly take one of these and customize it. For example, if I like this early coffee one, but maybe not coffee, but social studies, I can do that. I can come in and customize it. I don't really want that image there, etc. I can customize any of the templates that they have in, but I don't really want this one. So I'm going to take all of this stuff out. There we go. Now back to blank. And I'm just going to make one from scratch. So where I usually start is with the background. And I will tell you, they have a lot of pre-made backgrounds here to choose from. One of the things that we want to be careful about is how busy those are. Sometimes they can be very distracting. We could do this badly. I recommend just doing a simple solid color or a gradient Let's look at the gradients here, and we're gonna pick one that we're gonna use for our history class. So I'm gonna go with this blue. That's nice. It's a nice gradient blue. Gradient just means that it blends from one color into the other. So here you can see it's kind of light over here, kind of dark in this corner. That's nice. All right. Now this is a social studies history class, so let's go find some stuff that we can add to it. So I'm going to click on elements here on the left. This is where I find all my shapes, my clip art, etc. And let's see what happens when we type in, if I can type history and search. All right, so looks like we have some things that are related to history here, obviously. So let's use, let's just pick a couple things. I like this globe, so let's use that. So I just click it and it pops right in, okay? So I'm gonna expand that out just a little bit. You know, I think it's okay if things go off the borders a little bit. I'm gonna turn it, and you can do all this kind of stuff with it. You can customize it. You know, and what I like about Canva that they add to this magic recommendations is like, hey, you're using this. Maybe you'd like to use some of these too. And actually, I do. I like it. Let's put this soldier in. It's more like a Western civilization class, I think. Some older history. So we'll put these over here. Let's give it some. Scale it up like that. Maybe sarcophagus. Let's not open that. We don't want any curses or anything like that. I'll put that over here. And this is really just a rich editing tool for quickly cranking out graphics for you to use in all sorts of things. So yeah, we probably let's use her as well. So yeah, so there we go. This looks good. This could work. So now I've added some graphic elements to it. Obviously, I need to make sure that people know this is a class for history. Now we're putting the text. My recommendation is that we use sans serif fonts. And sans serif fonts are fonts that don't have the little wingy things on the ends of the points of the letter. I'll show you an example of what I mean here. So I'm just going to go with the font that they have here and do add a heading. That is way too small, so let's crank that up to, let's see what, 42. A little bigger than that. Let's go 56. There we go. And I'm going to change that to again, if I can spell, I'm going to change that to history. And I'm going to move that around. Now notice what's really awesome about Canva too is that it gives you those little snap guides, those little reference tools. So if I see that little pink line going up down the middle, I know I'm perfectly centered on the page. And if I move it around a little bit and I see the one going across, then I know this is right in the middle. And for some things, that's the way you want it. So that looks really cool. I like that. This is a sans serif font, so it doesn't have those. Just for reference, let me show you an example of a serif font. Let's see what we have here. This Via Libre Regular. Notice that we have those little wingy things on the ends of the letters, the different points of the letters. So that's the difference. Serif fonts work great on printed paper. They're a little more readable there. Sans serif fonts are a little more readable on screen. So I tend to recommend folks use sans serif fonts. So we're going to use the Open Sans Extra Bold, which is just I think it's the default font that I tend to get when I'm using Canva. All right, so I like that there. I want to, you know, I'm actually going to do this effect thing. I like this. I think it looks nice. I'm going to click on effects. I'm going to do the lift thing. It's very discreet, but it adds just a little bit of depth to that word. Now, I've got my graphic. This is going to look awesome at the top of my page. So what do I do next? Well, I want to download it. I want to make sure that it's labeled. So here it's social studies. I'm actually going to change that to history banner. Yeah, good. So now I've labeled it, I've named it, I'm going to download that file. We can leave these settings fine. PNG is a great format for our graphics. That's fine. You can leave it that way. Everything else you want to leave the same, and then we're just going to click download. And my download is here. I typically put my downloaded files on my desktop or somewhere I can easily get to them. because we're going to upload it into Canvas here in just a moment. So I'm just going to put that right there on my desktop, just like that. All right. Okay, so let's head back over to Canvas next, and we're going to upload that file into our page. Okay, so remember I downloaded that template into my Canvas course. I want to change it up a little bit. This is cool, but a little dry, a little boring for me. So I want to switch this up a little bit. This big welcome thing here is nice, but let's put our new history graphic in there. So the first thing is I've got that page open in Canvas, and I want to click Edit. So I want to open the Rich Content Editor so that I can come in and make some changes to this. Now, the Rich Content Editor, just remember, works kind of like Google Docs, Microsoft Word. You have a lot of the standard sorts of things here for centering and indenting and bulleted list, all that good stuff. And so I'm going to change this out. So here, I'm just going to click on that image, that welcome image. Notice that when I have an image selected, it kind of has it's highlighted, and I have these little squares on the corners. That means I have it selected, and I'm going to hit delete or backspace and get rid of it. It's gone. Okay, and I'm going to replace it with my image. So here's what we need to do next. I come over here to course image or embed image, this little picture. I'm going to click on that, and Canvas is going to ask me, hey, where does this image live? Because every time a page loads in a web browser, the web browser has to say, well, hey, where does this picture live? First off, this is a good time to talk about transitioning from Haiku. And we've talked about bringing content from Haiku into Canvas. If you're doing that, don't copy and paste the content from Haiku into Canvas. Don't go in and right-click, copy image, and then go into Canvas and paste image. That'll work temporarily, but as soon as our access to Haiku goes away, that image is going to be gone. And then when Canvas looks for it, when that page loads, it's just going to show up as a broken image. So we don't want to do that. If you have images that live in Haiku that you want to bring into Canvas, you want to go to that image in your web browser, right-click, save image as, save it to your desktop, and then you're going to go through these steps here to add that image back into your Canvas page or upload it into your Canvas. So here, I'm going to actually come over here to this Canvas option and click it, all right? Because I want to put this image into my images for Canvas. Now, Canvas has a file. Every Canvas has a set of files that go with it. Every course has these files. I will put it in my course files, not my files, but my course files. And if you may be the super organized kind of person, has everything in its own little folder and all that, that's great. If you do that, that's awesome. It's not a big deal if you don't, but definitely want to put it in course files. So now I have that selected. Since I have a course image folder, I'm just going to go ahead and click that too and put it there. So that seems like something I should do. And then I'm going to click this upload file because I've got a file and I'm ready to upload it. So here are my window, everything that's on my desktop. And I'm going to take this history banner, select it, click open. And it's going to upload it to my Canvas. So there it is. Now it's in my Canvas. Now let's talk a little bit about alt text, this thing right here, and explain what this is and why it's important. When we're putting images inside of our pages and the content, assignments, whatever inside of Canvas, this alt text is very important. If we have students who have visual impairments or have some other sort of disability where they need a screen reader to read a page to them, then whatever is put in for alt text, when that screen reader gets to that image, it's going to read whatever is there for that image. So history banner, right now by default it will say history-banner.png. Now, if I want to tell the web browser that this is just a decorative image, it doesn't have anything to do with content, there's no learning stuff related to this, then I can just click this decorative image box and the screen reader will skip it. That's an important thing to know to make our courses accessible to our learners, especially those with disabilities. I'm actually going to click this decorative image thing because this is just a label. The dimensions are fine. Those are what I created it at, so I don't have to change anything there. Then I'm going to click update. And now, at the top of my course, I have our awesome history banner. That is set up. So I will recommend take a moment, Play around in Canva if you haven't set that up yet, or if you have images set up somewhere else, give it a try. Pause the video, play around with it a little bit, and then come back and we'll talk about how to link images to parts of your course. All right, so now let's talk about how to link other buttons that I've added to my home page. So I've created some buttons in Canva, or I've gone out and found some buttons that downloaded or whatever, and I've put them in my page, and I want to link them to important parts of my course. Well, here's how we do it. So first off, I'm going to pull up that front page, and then I'm going to click Edit. And then I'm going to scroll down to those different images. So I have, again, it's important to think about what are students going to use the most? What are they going to click on the most? What's going to be the high traffic parts of my front page? So here I linked in or created images for announcements, about your teacher, learning modules, and class resources. So we're going to talk about how to link some of those up. The announcements part is really important. That's going to be the number one way that you will communicate with all of your students, just like we have in other LMSs. So to link the announcements section up, this is really straightforward. I'm going to click on that image. You know I have an image selected when you see that box around it and you see those little squares in the corners. That means that image is selected. Then I'm going to come over here to the right and find the course navigation section. And this is all the major parts of a Canvas course. So this is announcements. So obviously I want to click on announcements. Notice when I do that, it flashes yellow. That tells you that it's been linked. And then I'm going to click save. Let's just make sure that that works. All right, so I clicked save. I'm going to scroll down. Oh, that's a good sign. If I see the little pointer hand, the little hand, that tells me, hey, there's a link there. So I click on it, and there it goes. It takes me to the announcement section. Awesome. All right, so let's go back and link some other things here. Okay, so I'm going to go back and edit. And let's do learning modules, because that's important. That's where all of our learning content is going to be existing, those modules, which are like folders, right? So I want to link to those. Again, I'm just going to select that icon, that image. Then I'm going to come down to course navigation and I'm going to click on modules. Again, that awesome little yellow flash tells me it's linked up. And then I would click save. I'm actually not going to do that yet. So I want to show you how to do one other way of linking to things. So let's say you want to link to something that exists outside of Canvas. Let's say class resources was really a link to Google. Fine, we're just going to pretend for now. So how would I link to another page? So again, here's how it works. I'm going to select that image and I'm going to click on it. So it's selected. And then up here in the rich content editor, I'm going to come find the links. This is links to URL. So I'm going to click that. Anything that's there, I'm just going to erase it, right? And I'm going to type in the address for Google, or copy and paste an address in. So www.google.com. Update that link. That little yellow flash tells me it's done. I'm going to click save. And let's test this out just to make sure that that works as well. So class resources, it's Google. Awesome. It takes me to Google. That's quite a resource. All right, so I'm going to go back. And so that's how then, once we have those images into our page, that we're just going to link them up. You either link them up with that right side, those different parts of the courses that are there, or I can use the link icon in the rich content editor and paste a URL, a website address that I want to link to. Once you're done, just click save and you're ready to go. Now, let's talk about another key element here. And some of you may be noticing, well, I have this page created, but I can't set it as the home page. So one key thing that you need to keep in mind is that you can't set a page as your home page if you haven't published it yet. And publishing means that it's just available if you had students in the course that they would be able to see it. Now, if we're just building a course from scratch, there are no students in it. So don't worry about what's published and what's not published at this point. It's not a big deal. But let's talk about how to make a page, your front page. So first off, I'm going to go here. I've got my course open. Let's just assume that I haven't done this yet and modules is what's showing up. And I don't like, well, this is cool, but it might be a little boring for my students. I want a nice, I mean, I'm working on a homepage workshop. I want my homepage to show up. So here's what we do. On the left side, you're going to come down in course navigation and you can click on pages. Okay. Now I'm going to click, if you're not seeing it already, I'm going to click view all pages right here in the upper left. And this is going to show me a list of all the pages. Okay. Now you'll notice I already have one set as front page, right? It's called front page and it's working as a front page. But let's say I want about your teacher as the front page. So here are all the different pages that I have. Let's say I want to make about your teacher that front page. So I'm going to come over here to these three little dots and I'm going to click that and I'm going to click use as front page. Now that's not going to work. It's going to be grayed out if I haven't published the page. To publish the page is really straightforward. You see we have these green checks and these little slashes. All I have to do is click that. So let's just say I want to publish this additional support page. That's all I have to do. Now I could set that as the front page if I wanted to. So again, pick your page, whatever you've called it, and do use this front page, and then from then on, that page is going to load as the front page of your Canvas page. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. I'm going to let you play around with that a little bit, and then we'll continue on talking about some more things, some more details about setting up your course, and we'll look at some examples before we wrap this up. All right, so sometimes for me, I don't know about you guys as how you learn things and how you learn to do things, but seeing something in action, seeing a worked example, or giving me something that I could play with to start with is one of the best ways that I learn. That's why I recommend that you go out and pull one of those templates down and start working from there. At least it'll get you started, and you can always just swap images out and such as needed. But sometimes I also like just to see like, well, what are other people doing? What are some examples? What could it look like? So I've gone through some examples that I've created. I've gone through some examples that I have found out in the Commons, and I'm just taking some screenshots to show you some examples of what these pages, what your home page or front page could look like. So let's look at a couple of those. So here's some examples. So on the left, we have an algebra page. And then again, this teacher just used, it's very colorful, bright. I like this. I think this is good. I'm a little bit concerned about the light font on a light background. It's a little hard to read. It would be easier if it were full screen. But yeah, this is good stuff. And again, the font, it's cursive. You know, some of our students maybe not able to read cursive, but again, something like this would work fine. Here's a second grade template over here. All of these are out there in the comments, so you can find them all out there. And again, simple welcome to second grade, classroom information schedule. I don't know I guess the butterfly unit is something they're covering, so that's their current module that they're working in, that sort of thing. Let's look at some others. Here's an American history course. So really nice design there, sort of the American flag with that sort of sepia tone on it. Again, you can find stuff like this and do stuff like this in Canva all day long. And again, the major units of the course are here. Here's a biology course, and I like this one too. Again, it's a nice banner here at the top, some different sections of the classroom that are linked out to these images and some information on the page. A physical science class. Looks pretty cool. A third grade class here set up. Just, again, don't feel like you have to be an expert graphic designer. You don't. Just think about what my students need to click on and making some buttons that are easy for them to see, read, and click on. Canva will make you look like a rock star. So play around with Canva. It's good stuff. All right, and let's look at a couple other examples. So here's a geology class, so different kinds of rocks as the backgrounds. This is probably from somebody's personal image collection, probably not from Canva. And then this 8th grade math class. Again, not a lot of pictures here, but some nice dividers, visual dividers, objectives, each time you begin, etc., and some information from the class. So again, lots of things that you can do with this. These are here just to give you some inspiration to help you get started. So let's recap real quick and then we're going to wrap this video up. So again, Canvas lets you choose from lots of different things to be the homepage. Most of what folks will be using are going to be this just actually creating a page and setting it as the front page, though you do have other options like the assignment list, the course syllabus, the modules, so forth. So keep that in mind. Canva is out there. It's a great tool to create graphics and images. I'm going to probably do a follow-up workshop very similar to this one, just talking about creating images for your class. So it's going to focus more on the Canva side of things. But so you might want to look for that one as well. Again, think about what it is that my students are going to click the most and create images that are clearly labeled. So think about how you communicate. Your students are in your class. Hey, students, I need you to go to this page. What would you tell them? You open up Canvas and click on the lady reading the book, that sort of thing. So that's something you want to consider as well. Think about the visuals that you use. Make sure they're consistent. If I were doing, for example, I want a math button to link out to the math section of my course, I probably wouldn't use planets and things like that because that sounds more like science kind of stuff. So just think about, make sure your visuals they make sense. And again, Canva is going to be your best friend. So go and grab that free Educator Pro account in Canva, canva.com/educator. Use your district email address to set that up and start making some images. So it's a couple of suggestions for image sizes. Banners, probably about 1,000 width is about the max that I would want to do on a banner size. As far as width goes, because of the different screen sizes that our students are going to be using. Button sizes, for a lot of my stuff, I've been using 200 by 200, just a square, but that's not set in stone. That's just what I've done. I think for elementary kids who may be still developing some of those motor skills, bigger button is probably going to be better because it'll be easier for them to click. Your course card, and this is something I didn't talk about a lot, so let's talk about course cards real quick. I'm going to jump back over to Canvas and go to my dashboard just to tell you what a course card is. Course cards are these things that I see on the dashboard right here. So if I don't use a course card in my course, then I'm just going to get a solid color. It's going to look like this one down here, this green one, this homepage template collection thing that I was working on. It's just going to look like a solid color, which is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want a custom image to show up there, then you need to create an image for that. And those dimensions are going to be 262 wide by 146 height. I know that's really specific. So it needs to be that size or smaller. Now, I recommend doing it exactly that size. Otherwise, things can get stretched and warped and all that. So set your images up like that. And that can be custom. And again, I would use Canva to do that. So, and when I am ready to update an image for a course card, and this is something I probably should explain as well. Let me go right here, and let's say I want to update the course card for this image. That actually is in the settings of your course. So in the course navigation on the left, and come down to settings, and I'm going to make sure course details is selected on top tab here. And then this image, this choose image, this is where I'm going to select that image. So I just click choose image and upload it. And then it's going to put that in as the course card. So that's where you do that. And then it'll update and you'll see it show up with as a custom image in that course card, which looks really nice. So that's another thing to consider as well. Okay, play around with this. Experiment. So that's what your sandbox is for. You're not going to break anything. So click buttons, find out what happens. As you run into things that are puzzling to you, you don't understand, you have a technical issue or whatever, feel free to reach out to me. If I can't answer it by email, we'll set up a one-on-one chat. And we'll go through and we'll look at the specific issue and we'll work through that together. And also don't forget too, for some technical issues, Canvas's support is a good thing to do as well. And we have a nice 24/7 support. You can come down here and click the help on the left. And I recommend using the chat. Chatting with Canvas support is great because I can leave that chat window open and be working on other things, and I'll get a notification when they respond and let them know what your problem is. Or if you want to call them, you can, but usually you're probably going to wait a little bit longer on that. Or you can submit a ticket as well. There's a ticketing system in here as well. But again, if it's just about designing how to set up your course and how to do some of the things that we've talked about in this training, shoot me an email and I'm happy to help you with that. Thank you all for everything you do. Appreciate you all. Love you all. Thank you again for going on this Canvas transition journey with us. And if I can help you in any way, just reach out to me. Have a great day.